Hello. I was like a little Rachel Maxey just now. Copyright. So today we are doing a web series review of Represent. Represent is an original TV or cinema style web series. Sick of the oppression that they experience in the acting industry, Ellie and Tess seek to make their own short film. So I really liked the concept of this web series. I really liked that this was about women who had already been in the industry for a long time and seen the negative parts of it and how cultural oppression and systemic oppression were kind of baked into it. I think it came across as much more interesting that they were going to switch from being actors to being producers, directors, screenwriters. A lot of series that do explore the concept of the film industry, whether it's independent or like the big industry, tend to focus more on the acting side. So I liked that this series definitely looked at different parts of what goes into making a movie, what you kind of need in order to get things started, and the transferable skills between acting and producing, directing, screenwriting. The acting was very natural. I enjoyed watching both characters work towards this common goal. Definitely felt like that friendship chemistry was there, and the other characters that come in along the way I felt like also acted very naturally. Felt like everybody had a clear idea of who their character was and their character motivations. It was really fun and cathartic to watch. I actually watched it twice. The series wasn't finished yet, but after I watched the first few episodes, I went back and watched them again with my sister because she has done acting and then I've done film editing, obviously not in like a big professional sense, but we kind of are on both of those sides. So it was really fun to watch with her and get her take on it. I also liked that they didn't just focus solely on sexism in the film industry, not only the different ways that that could show up for somebody, but they also addressed specifically with Tess, her experience with the intersection of racism and sexism. Tess as an Asian woman is stereotyped as an actress where she's oftentimes playing a character who's just there for eye candy purposes. She's asked to sound more Asian, put on a more stereotypical accent. I thought that that was a really important thing that they included in this series, because even in films and projects I see that are done by women for women, that are women focused, they might still have those problems, whether it's representational or through stereotypes, poor writing, and even like the good male directors. Oftentimes, if you're doing really well with writing strong women characters, a lot of times there still will be problems with race. So I was glad that they showed that oppression, different spheres of oppression intersect. I also loved that the series was made by women. I think it definitely adds a lot when something has its roots in a person's personal experiences. I'm not saying that every story has to come directly from the mouths of somebody who's lived a particular life, but it definitely adds some authenticity, definitely makes it easier, I think, to relate to when it's somebody where you know they know their shit. Some things I think this web series could have done better. There weren't captions on every episode at the time that I watched this series. I think that not having captions on a series, especially if that series is monetized, is very frustrating when you have scenes that are shot out of doors or where there might be extra static or noise being picked up by the mics, air conditioning, or especially in scenes where characters are talking over each other. If you have a scene where there's a lot of different characters in a room and we're supposed to just hear what only two characters are saying, but captions are probably the best way to deal with audio issues, because then even though you can't just magically fix the sound quality, at least I understand what I'm supposed to be picking up. There was some continuity issues in the actor positioning, and that did take me out of the series a lot. The one scene in particular that comes to mind is when they're auditioning in the children's, the daycare center. That's a great scene, but where their hands and arms were, how they were holding the scripts the whole time was very disconcerting for me as a viewer. I'm not necessarily the type of person who actively seeks out continuity errors or like I'm not looking for them to be nitpicky, but it was blatant enough, at least to my eyes and my sister's eyes, that it did take us out of the series a little bit. I also would have really liked to learn more about Grace's character. I thought she was really interesting as a woman of color who also is on the production side. So she's the actual filmmaker, cinematographer, director. And I really would have liked to see how her experience differed from Tess in particular. I would have liked to see their relationship, which starts off a little bit more volatile because of this assumption that Grace has about how Tess views her work. A very large part of the series is focused on Ellie. I would have loved to see Tess and Grace have a few more moments for themselves as well. I would watch the series if you like stories that center on female friendships. I think the series does a really good job of showing two friends who have a common goal. Maybe they approach it in different ways. They always, at the end of the day, love each other, respect each other, support each other. If you like series that center on feminist topics, a big thing that comes up in the series is whether they're going to alienate anybody specifically by using the word feminism. But if you like a series that actively dives in and doesn't shy away from using those words, feminism, sexism, racism, and naming what the problem is and then also the solution, then I would definitely watch this series. And if you really like original concepts, if you're not so into literary-based web series, if you prefer watching something that has a storyline where you don't know everything that's going to happen, you're not picking out which character fills which role in the story, you like to see the characters develop along the way, not knowing where everything's about going to end, then I would definitely try this series. I wouldn't watch this series if you're looking for a literary-based web series, if that's really your particular taste, because this is original, it just doesn't fulfill that format. And if you prefer a high school or college setting for a series, then this also doesn't fulfill that. The series is set in adulthood. Both characters are working people and they are trying to make it in a professional industry, so there isn't a high school or college experience represented here. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know if you have found a series that you love and that you think would be fun for me to watch. And if I said anything, missed anything, if there's anything that I didn't like that you really did, or anything that I said that you agree with, whatever your thoughts, please don't hesitate to share them with me.